I'm Becca Stevens, one of the chaplains here at St. Augustine's, and I am so happy to get to spend some time sitting with Scott and Ian, my co-chaplains, to talk about baptism. And we're going to do it in 3 parts. I'm going to talk about sacrament, you're going to talk about covenant, and you're going to talk about transformation. And we're going to try to do this conversationally, where we spend just a few minutes talking about our topic and then having some interaction. So this should be really fun. So here's what I want to say is that whatever you don't hear in these short videos, please know that the whole reason this book was made, this Book of Common Prayer, is so that you have all that information in one place. So everything about the catechumenate, everything about the baptism, it's all in here. And one of the main lessons that this book shares with us, this Book of Common Prayer, is that the church honors 7 sacraments. These outward and visible signs of an inward and spiritual grace. Now, in my journey of, this is my 30th year as a priest, I know. I think I've learned that there's really one sacrament of the church, and it's healing. And that the 7 sacraments, or the 70 times 7 sacraments that go around that, are all about trying to bring a community together to do healing. So whether it's baptism or marriage or reconciliation or unction or ordination, whatever it is, the idea is that when we come together, we're doing healing. Now, in the sacrament of baptism, the outward and visible sign is the water. And it really is easy. It comes from the river of Jordan. Jesus goes down, he comes up, and the clouds part. And the dove said, "This is my well-beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased." Like, just start the ministry. And so we have this new life, this immersion in water to come out and have that experience. But I always think there's a second part of sacramental life. Like, there's that first outward and visible sign of this grace of new life. But then, like in Scripture, when it says immediately Jesus is driven into the wilderness, there's this other side of sacrament, which means then how we respond to that grace. And I think always it's a calling. So when I think of the sacrament of baptism, I don't want to stop just at this idea of there's an immersion in new life, but also that then there's a response and a calling for people. What do you do with that life? What do you do with that grace? One of my favorite ways that we have celebrated the sacrament, you guys have been a part of it so much, is to take people down to the river. Or this year, we're taking people to the living waters of the spring in Centennial Park. And what I love about that is that you get closer to that sacrament in some ways. Like, this is, living water, new life. But it also is an experience that loved ones and family go through together. We don't have it where it's like just a baby is given a little bit of water, which is perfect. I love sacramental life in that way. But the idea that we go down together and come out as a community to have this calling and this new life. So that's what I think about the sacrament of baptism, at least right now. It could change and evolve. Hopefully we're all doing that in all of our sacramental life. But I'd love to hear what that makes you think about.
Yeah, I was just thinking about water, and what a beautiful gift that is. And why, what about water for you?
Well, obviously, water is how we start life. We start life in the womb with water and we emerge from it, and that's the first place of life. But I also think of water as an agent of cleansing. I think of water as an agent of life-giving daily. What about if we drink all our water sacramentally, like remembering that new life that it's giving us every day? So water is life, right? And it's a beautiful thing.
And it's also a healing agent, right? I mean, when we have a wound of some kind, our first response is to bathe it in water, right?
Yeah.
So to your point about healing, water is part of the process of our internal and at times even external healing, right? And I love that this year, and I love the baptism at the river. I'm going to miss it this year because I love the laughter and being dragged in the currents, which is also a wonderful idea, the current of grace. But I love too that we're doing it this year in the spring in the city.
I know.
Downtown, traffic, people, not only as a witness, but as a sign of this way of being in the world. It's immediate. We're going to go out into the world as newly transformed human beings. And we're right there for it.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go baptize some babies. We're ready. So we are going to make sure that as we go through this, that you know that whatever you need to be thinking about this sacrament and this way of life, that we're here for you. Peace and love.